Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Health and Safety Management. And today being the 30th of September 2024, we're going to be looking at auditing for health and safety. It's about 4-ish. It's the 5th week of health and safety management training. Viewers would appreciate the meaning and essence of auditing in occupational health and safety. Then make do with characteristics of the auditors. Then know the auditing tools or techniques used. Comprehend auditing scoring system. Then follow through report presentation and appeals. The name is H. Kwame Afaglo. Let's go through it carefully and methodically. But you read the screen as you're listening. You can replay this over and over and over so you acquaint yourself with the thought of health and safety at workplace. It's good for examination, it's good for workplace practice, and even if you transfer some of the knowledge to home, it suits perfectly or near perfect. Okay, so then what is auditing in health and safety? Auditing in health and safety simply means what? An assessment or an objective evaluation or objective examination of what has been done at the workplace in terms of health and safety as against what the national standards are and the organizational intentions or objectives. Here it means that the organization must have been practicing health and safety already, which must be a total form of the management, total part of the management scheme. Health and safety must be part of the total management scheme. So it's been practiced. So you want to evaluate whether what has been performed as against what should be done. Has it matched? If it doesn't match, if it falls short, then the auditors will come up with a report and recommendations to fill in those gaps. Where hazards are unattended hazards, where unattended risks are, those would be recommended and fillings must be done. All right. If you have surpassed the standard, then bravo, it's good. It's bravo, the organization is in good health. What are the essence? Once auditing is done, it improves performance. It goes for continuous improvement. Means auditing must be done regular, routinely, periodically, maybe a year or 6 monthly. That's why it's an evaluation. Okay, so it becomes a continuous improvement process for the organization. It tends to make the organization more effective. Effectiveness in terms of what is to be done. Are you doing it? If you're doing it, then bravo. If you're not doing it, what will you have to do to catch up? Effectiveness, efficiency means that you are doing it in good timing. That's the efficiency. You're doing it in good timing. So you're taking care of health and safety in good timing. The reporting systems, make sure you put the first aiders, the first aiders at the workplace. Make sure the colors are appropriate. The emergency routes are well cleared. They are not blocked and all stuffs like that. Those are some of the essence of ensuring there's an auditing in health and safety, occupational health and safety. All right, so then if it improves efficiency and effectiveness, then it's likely to improve productivity, very likely. If it improves productivity, it has a high correlation with profitability. So just one audit in occupational health and safety can increase productivity and would improve the quality of working life of employees. It improves the quality of working life. So those are some of the essence of having auditing in occupational health and safety done. Then let's go to make do with the characteristics of auditors. The auditors could be internal and external, or could be internal or external. All right. So they must have a good hang-on. They must be competent in understanding health and safety of the nation, the jurisdiction under which the organization is operating, and then make do with a lot of common sense. Must show leadership, must communicate properly, must be able to read and write, must be able to carry out discussions, meetings, train the younger ones with them so that they improve in their communication, better communication. Auditors for health and safety are not debt catchers. They are not debt busters. They shouldn't be feared. They should give prior notice before they commence their work. Enough prior notice that they are coming for auditing. Their scope of work must be properly defined. But importantly, let me repeat, they must be good communicators. Communicate in simple language, not too many technical jargons. All right. So those are the qualities that we need, some of the qualities you need for auditors. And auditors must present their report timely. In case they have seen an emergency or a hazard situation or risk situation, they must report it, which is quite more severe. They must report it for remedial measures within good time. They shouldn't wait for their report to be concluded before they report that. They should quickly communicate that so that the remedial measures or immediate action be attended to save the organization from any accident case or near accident cases. All right. So that notwithstanding, there are a few more. Like I said, auditors are not debt busters. They shouldn't be feared. All right. So let's go to knowing what are the auditing techniques. The auditing techniques or the tools used by auditors are: one, visual inspection. So they inspect, they go around and inspect. When they are going around, they carry out a form. They write each and every spot that they will have to visit. Each and every spot they visited, and they indicate whether what is expected to be there is there. Is there risk? Are there the mitigating measures? Are there the control measures there? They would have to indicate yes or no. Yes or no is a checklist, precisely. A simple one is a checklist, so that's visual. They also go with interviews. They have to be able to interview from the lowest person in the organization, that is the janitor or the cleaner, to the senior most person in the organization, that's the chief executive officer. They have to interview all of them to find out what concerns they have or what are their experiences when it comes to health and safety, and then measure each of work spots, each of the work departments, each of the workplaces. All right. They must be able to analyze documents, say accident reports. They have to analyze all those report documents. Okay. They have to ensure that there is an assessment, health and safety assessment done by management. They have to go through all that. They could also use questionnaires, administer questionnaires, and then it's being filled, and then they evaluate through it carefully. You know, questionnaires and interviews are very good forms of eliciting responses. If it's a close-ended, don't make it solely close-ended. Make it a mixed method. That is what? Qualitative and quantitative. The close-end questions are more quantitative. It doesn't give a chance for respondents to what? Elaborate upon which you can infer from. So health and safety auditors would have to make sure that they use the mixed method. All right, let's go to understanding auditing types. There are two types. That's the full auditing or partial auditing. Full auditing or full-scale auditing is time-consuming, it's expensive, but it has to be done. Some organizations don't like it, but it's necessary for continuous improvement of the organization. So despite the cost and time consuming, it has to be done. However, partial auditing can also be done. We have three types of partial auditing. Partial auditing has to be done in occupational health and safety. We have three types. Let's take a break. The commercial break. Yes, welcome back to auditing in health and safety at workplace. Like I said, today is the 30th of September 2024, and we're going into the 5th week of health and safety discussions. All right. So then you can use these videos, which you find on the screen, a contact you can find on YouTube, Facebook, WhatsApp. And if you have any question, don't hesitate to reach us on the contacts you have. Our email is above, kwameafaglo@gmail.com or hamsacallconsult@gmail.com. And you can get our WhatsApp +233 200 372 691. All right. So let's go to the types. You have to understand the auditing types. The types of auditing, I said full-scale auditing and then partial-scale auditing. Full-scale auditing, I said, is expensive, it's time-consuming, but it has to be done because it improves continuously. It ensures continuous improvement of the workplace. When people are secured at the workplace, the quality of work and quality of life improves. And that shows in productivity. All right. So with this kind of auditing, effectiveness, efficiency is important. Effectiveness in doing the job and doing it well, that's effectiveness. Doing it and doing it well is ensured in all departments. All right. So let's go to the partial auditing, which are 3 types. I said they are the vertical slice, horizontal slice, and sampling. Let's take sampling to start from the bottom. Sampling is, say, an organization has about 40 branches countrywide or 20 branches countrywide. It can decide to use a form, simple random sampling, and select maybe 5 or 6 to visit for auditing. So once they go to those 5 or 6 branches, which is by simple random, so then that's sampling. So once they carry out auditing in that 5 or 6 sampled branches of the large organization of maybe 40 branches, and they select 5 or 6 of them for sampling for auditing, the assumption is that that sample covers the rest. It is a true representation of the organization's health and safety. That's sampling, so it's acceptable. Okay, what about second one? That's horizontal slice. Horizontal slice is what? Taking a single aspect of managerial health and safety and auditing that part. For an instance, recruitment and training as just one slice in health and occupational health and safety. How are people recruited and how are they trained in health and safety? So you assess just that bit and that's it. What about vertical slice? Vertical slice is what? Just a single topic. Just like we have a single managerial practice in health and safety. Vertical means what? Horizontal is management horizontal. Vertical means what? A single slice of a topic. Vertical slice is a single topic under health and safety. You just take that and audit that bit. Say first aid or emergency procedure or just the accident reporting book. Yes, those just single aspect of it. Those are accepted auditing practices. Hence, you could use that, but if you're using it, how do you assess it? How do you measure it? Because from the beginning, we said auditing in health and safety is an objective measure of what has been done as against what is expected to be done and against the national standards of occupational health and safety. So if it's an objective measure, how do you measure its objective? One is, whilst you are doing your auditing, you have to use a checklist. Checklist, you list all the places you have visited or expected to visit. Are the items there? Are the health and safety signs or equipment there? Control measures, are they all there? If it is yes, if it's not, no. Yes or no is a simple checklist. That is done and then you go through. Once you see all the no's, you draw the attention of the organization to the no's and make sure that you prioritize the hazards or the risk of the checklist for attention to be drawn. Put in the recommendations as an auditor. So auditor's report must be read and make sure that senior managers must be present and make sure that it is accomplished appropriately. Okay, besides the checklist, when you want to score, when you have the checklist and you want to score, yes or no is a checklist. That's fine. It's so quantitative measure. It comes out with an objective approach. But you need a qualitative descriptions to help the organization in terms of help the auditor to come up with recommendations and the organization to specifically see what should be done. Is it an improvement that should be done? Yes. Is it contextualized approach, meaning that a localized alternative in terms of the controls to be placed in? Is it an intermediate or a temporal measure that should be put in? Temporal control measure to be put in. You have to look at that. Then the other rating, the scoring system, is that you could use the numbers, figures, 3, 2, 1. 3 for what? full compliance, 2 for partial compliance, and 1 for no compliance. So if you get to item 1, is there first aid here? 1 means there's no compliance. At the reception, is there a fire extinguisher? 2, partial compliance, because it is there but it's expired, or it is there but it's not been filled yet, or it is there. 3. So you do that for each and every aspect of the workplace. Are the signs visible for fire escape? 1, it means that non-compliance is not there. Are the steps with respective highlights, high color lights, high vis lights, such that at night people can see this a step up and step down at the workplace? 3 means that full compliance. Those are issues that you catch up with. So when you do all that, then you follow through with the report. Auditing reports must be presented in good time. Don't leave it till their kingdom come. It's not possible. Then it's of no use. Auditing report must be presented in good time. Discuss within the auditing team that carried it out. Measure, make sure that whatever that they've measured, the assessor or the auditor or the assessor has measured, it must be with national standards and of course the organization's intentions, that's objectives of the organization in terms of occupational health and safety. Then a full report is written, the auditing team discuss. The auditing team can be made up of the external auditors and the internal auditors. First aiders can all be part of the team. Okay, so then that report written and then handed over to senior management, preferably the chief executive officer or the deputy chief executive officer, such that that report is taken serious. That's important. It's more of an imperative. All right. That notwithstanding, there must be room for appeals. You know, the job holder will have a different view of health and safety on an item of his job as against the one who is from outside, the external auditor or the consultant or the assessor from outside, who looks at it with a different eye. The one who does the job sees it differently from the one who is coming from outside as a consultant or the auditor. So they must discuss. If they don't see differences, then that's resolved. But if they see differences still, that the job holder and the assessor or the auditor don't seem to agree, there must be an appeals approach, appeals procedure, a written document that makes room for appeals procedure and attached to the report. That is the way to go. The name is H. Kwame Afaglo. Take note, health and safety, auditing in health and safety at workplace is very important for continuous improvement. Thank you.